I think people are limited because they're very well influenced by people that's around them or people that's in the media. You know, you see somebody criticizing something, you're not going to do that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think like that. I'm only going to do what I like, straight up. And a lot of people have tunnel vision. Like, you may see people talking about how if they get a lot of money or something like that, they're going to stay in the ghetto, they're going to stay in the projects. That means if you're staying there, you're going to allow your mother and your family to stay there also. And that's bullshit, straight up, you know? The change has to happen somewhere in your generation. You know, for my family, I'm saving money and I want my kids to start on another level. I don't want them to start in the projects. No, that means they have to build for their families. If they start at a higher level, you know, their families are going to get better. That means your generation down the line, they're going to have a foundation, you know, and I'm going to set the foundation, straight up. What I think has to change for people, as far as longevity, is looking at people that have made it in the business. You know, Quincy Jones, people like that. That's my mentor right there, because he started at a young age the same as I did, and he's still doing his thing and having fun with it. You know, it ain't about who has the flyest car, who has the most jewelry, you know. It ain't about that. It's about saving and preparing yourself for when your shit ain't happening no more, you know, because it's going to happen sooner or later. You know, you never know when, you know. When Dr. Dre falls off, if and when that happens, I'm cool. I'll never have to touch another button as long as I live, straight up. I'm cool, you know. And that's what you have to think. You have to say, okay, I know I'm gonna fuck off some money, so let me put this money over here to fuck off, right? And let me save this. Let me save this. Take care of your taxes, take care of all that shit. You gotta make sure you're prepared when the shit gets thick.
They're all not to be trusted. I don't trust none of them. You know, it's like I'm not naive. I'm not out here being like, yo, it's not buddy, man. This is a war, man. I mean, yeah, I've seen people I would never expect, people I've had the utmost respect for, do foul shit, you know? Try and, if they could have their way, I'd be on the street corner with me and all these guys in this room and my family, and we'd never to be heard from again, you know, if they had their way. But like I said, I'm ready for whatever.
You are now tuned into Foolish Wisdom.
You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't been doing the education.
What's going on, people? Welcome to the 16th episode of Foolish Wisdom. Thank you so much for tuning in, and as always, I appreciate all the love. The topic for today's episode is depression. First, let me start by saying that depression is an extremely broad topic and I don't have all the answers. I know enough to know I don't know everything. You have environmental factors such as vitamin D deficiency from a lack of sunshine, a chemical imbalance in the brain, etc., etc. But any information is good information if it helps you beat this silent monster that claims a lot of lives every year. So again, I'm going to break down 3 methods that I've applied to myself that have worked for me, and I know they will work for you. Number 1. First, make sure you're not surrounded by the wrong people. Before you self-diagnose, first make sure you're not surrounded by the wrong people. It's always easy to defend yourself against a direct attack, but then there are those who befriend you to attack you in subtle ways. Indirect attacks is a chatty patty's bread and butter. By making their attacks ambiguous, they can be interpreted as an accidental act. But if you see someone is very organized in matters that concern them, and if they're very calculated in matters that concern them, but they choose to get accidental when it involves you, then you're probably under a passive-aggressive attack. You can pretend you don't know to encourage them to go further and cross that invisible line so then you can have your way with them, or simply ignore it. But often their trick is to make their attack subtle enough so if you react aggressively, it will look like an overreaction. People are never that accidental. When was the last time you saw someone accidentally forget money at a cash point? When was the last time you saw someone accidentally harm their child? If someone decides to get accidental with you, that's their way of saying, I want to hurt you, but I'm too afraid of attacking you directly because I won't be able to deal with the consequences. So I will attack you in subtle ways. So by the time you realize I've already nibbled you to death by every small bite that they take at you. And when you're around this type of energy, your mind gets overactive with negative impulses that will lead to depression and other negative symptoms. If you stand next to a swimming pool, you're gonna get wet. And if you swim with piranhas, you're gonna get bit. It is wiser to be alone than in bad company. Surround yourself with people that are good for your mental health. The concept of heaven and hell is that good people go to heaven, bad people go to hell. So after you're physically dead, if your spirit goes to heaven, you be chilling with good people. And if your spirit goes to hell, you be chilling with bad people. Meaning, saying that, you also have a chance to experience this on earth before you're physically dead, simply by chilling with good people now. You don't have to wait until you're physically dead to have this experience in the sky. You can simply surround with people that are sound while you're on the ground. The Bible refers to heaven as the hereafter. Hereafter. Look at the word, not thereafter, not in the sky after, but hereafter. The dictionary term for the word here is an adjective of place or position, and after is an adjective of time, following or succeeding. These are the dictionary terms. So heaven is here after you get your mind right. Heaven and hell are states of mind, states of being, states of existence. In London, if you have no money, you're broke as hell. If it's cold and you have no jacket, you're cold as hell. If you're hungry and you have no food, you're hungry as hell. If you think you won't be depressed, allowing messy Jessies and chatty patties emotional access, you're crazy as hell. You can still believe in a heaven in the sky and a hell under the ground, but don't let them make you focus only on a hell in the ground and a heaven in the sky while they take everything in the middle. I believe in God fully, but I'm not gonna wait until I'm physically dead to live a better life. I'm going to enjoy a better here after I get my mind right. No one you know personally will ever come back from the dead to tell you about a better life they're having in the sky. So your heaven from now on should be here after you get your mind right and live righteous. I don't wish to offend none of my Christian family. I need and I value your prayers. But even God cuts people off. He cut the devil off, and only a few selected people are allowed access into heaven after their physical death. And you too can live by this principle. Only permit a few selected people into your heaven, into your temple, which is your mind. And number 2, put some respect on your mental health. When your mental health comes up, nigga, respect it. I always put respect on my mental health. I keep it real simple. You a chatty patty? Charge to the game. You're a messy Jessie? Charge to the game. You're a Dusty Dean trying to hold me back? Charge to the game. Put some respect on your mental health. Our thoughts are critical to our mood, good or bad. We usually don't find it important to put any respect on our mental health because it's not a visual entity. Most of us find it more important to respect our shoes, our clothes, because other people can see it. We put more respect on our car because other people can see it. But we don't value our mind because others can't see it. So we won't read to put the right information in our mind. We won't exercise to push the right chemicals into our mind because it's not a visual entity. We are taught to put more respect on visual stuff. And we usually deal with this matter mainly through our conscious mind. So we consciously ignore the people around us who wish us ill for fear of being alone or fear of confrontation. But your subconscious mind won't let you forget it. Your subconscious mind picks up everything it sees. Your mind is like a computer. In fact, a computer is like your mind. A computer was inspired by your mind, the way it stores memory, etc. The same way a camera is inspired by your eyes and speakers inspired by your ears. When you use a computer, it stores everything. You may have consciously forgot what you browse, but unless you delete the history, it will still be there. Well, your subconscious mind operates the same way. When you're crossing a road, your conscious mind is looking left, but your subconscious mind is picking up the sound of the cars coming on your right for your safety. Why do you think motorways and dual carriageways have billboard adverts on them? We all agree that when you're driving, you're supposed to keep your eye on the road. So why advertise in a place where the consumer has to keep his eye on the road? That's because your subconscious mind picks it up through your peripheral vision. You might think you're ignoring it, but your subconscious mind is always going to take it in. So when someone gives you a sly look or makes a sly remark that's intended to hurt you, you might consciously ignore it, but your subconscious mind is going to pick it up. And it usually comes back to the front of your mind when you're either going to sleep or when you're alone. When it comes to matters of your mental health, put some respect on it. Let a chatty patty know. Are you finished or are you done? Same way a computer will get fucked up by a virus, your mind can get fucked up by a virus. And this virus usually is an infection that comes from mothers who are so negative towards themselves that they will feel no way about being negative towards you. Human beings are very susceptible to each other's moods and dispositions. There are wounds that never show on the body that are deeper and more hurtful than anything that bleeds. So when it comes to matters of your mental health or your health period, put some respect on it. Let them know you ain't taking it no more. Chatty Patties, Messy Jessies, Dusty Deans, all three of y'all. Put some respect on your mental health. Number 3, turn shit into sugar. Every negative moment has an opportunity for something positive. It's how you look at it that counts. There is not a human being on this planet that has not endured a period of difficulty in their life. The ultimate mental alchemy is to transform shit into sugar. Every pain I felt led to where I am today. There will be no foolish wisdom had I not gone through difficult times and seeked answers to get a better understanding of them. You can be upset that you lost a chatty patty friend, or be happy that they revealed their true colors in perfect time, that you no longer have to burden yourself with them anymore. It's how you look at it that counts. Transform shit into sugar. Try and see a positive in every negative situation you find yourself in. When I was homeless temporarily, I saw it as an opportunity to test how strong-minded I really am. And another thing is, you're not supposed to be happy all the time. Unfortunately, we are a melting pot of emotions, and they're gonna show up. The different emotions that are within you are gonna show up and change every so often. So don't expect to be happy all the time. Just understand that if you're depressed, it will pass like everything else. Your current situation is never your final destination. Turn shit into sugar. If you think you can't beat depression, guess what? You won't. He who thinks he can and he who thinks he can't are both usually right. You don't win by thinking you can't win. So if it's a friend and they choose to cross you, good riddance. Transform shit into sugar. You should consider yourself lucky that you didn't leave your legacy in the hands of a chatty patty. History is only kind to people who take the responsibility to write it themselves. If you make a mistake of allowing them to write your story, then boy. Finally, depression is a very vast subject and I don't know everything. I know enough to know I don't know everything. I just felt to share a few things that have worked for me and I know they will definitely work for you. So try and exercise, put some respect on your mind by reading and equipping your mind with the right information. There are 168 hours in the week, 730 hours in the month, 8,760 hours in the year. How many of these hours are you giving to people your subconscious mind has told you on several occasions do not wish you well? There are 24 hours in the day. How many of these hours are spent in the company and presence of people who secretly despise you? If the answer is 0, then expect yourself to be a very happy individual. But the truth is you spend probably a great majority of these hours fucking with the wrong people and doing the wrong things to yourself. And you expect not to be depressed? Really? Take the trash out your mind like you take the trash out your house. Stop trying to recycle bad moments and bad people. Charge them to the game, family. And hey, remind yourself, no one's built like you. You design yourself. Get your mind right and get your grind right. Cause the best thing in life is life. I'll be back next week. Thank you for tuning into this episode. I hope some of the information has helped you. And this is Foolish Wisdom.